My name is Heaven Blakely, and I am healing from narcissistic abuse from my dear husband. I had a question that came up last night that someone raised, and it took me a minute to really let it sink in. But they asked about a business, or if I used to have a business or something along that line. But anyway, I used to have a cleaning company, and I made a lot of money. I had a bunch of employees, I made a lot of money. And but during that time when I actually had to reflect and think about the timeline of events, um, it was a very unstable time for me. And what I mean by that is that my husband wasn't very supportive of what I had going on. He had a lot of things going on with him. I guess he was deflecting it on me, but he wasn't very supportive. So what I mean by that is that during that time, he was creating a false protection order. I had to go to court for that. I had to leave my home, and I did create another video about this false protection order incident. He also filed a couple of things through the court, which it was unsuccessful. But anyway, I went through a lot. So go back to that video about the protection order. I went through a lot. And so once that was all said and done, I knew I had to create more stability for my situation. And so that's when I dissolved the business, because the business, it takes a lot of effort to run a business. Okay. It takes a lot of effort. And a lot of time. You're constantly on the clock. Okay. So my dad had small kids, and I had this unstable spouse, and he loved to shake the floor that was underneath me all the time. So I dissolved the business. I didn't want to, but I dissolved at the time. And then I had went working for the man, and I went back to school full force, and I tried to just again try to create a stable career so I don't have to look over my shoulder. It's just for me, security for me. Yes, I move on my own tune in my marriage. So, which is sad to say, because I really want a marriage where God is first, and then it's your spouse, and then it's your children. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Because your children, they move out, they move on with their lives, they get married, they literally just move on. So you have to have God first and then your spouse. Okay? But it wasn't like that. It was like with my husband, it was like everything else was first that he wanted to do, and I was dead last. So